Hey, Tiger fans, Ben Rosenbaum here with head women's lacrosse coach Sonia LaMonica. Regular season in the books, and we are on to the CAA Tournament. Coach, you're the number 2 seed. Your thoughts just heading into the tournament and getting the team ready?
Excitement. I think obviously these teams are teams we've seen recently, Elon, so it'll be great to get back out and compete again. We're doing a lot of prep this week, obviously for those games, preparing, and just to have a great tournament and make sure that we have all our ducks in a row so that we can bring our best Friday. So yeah, a lot of excitement and excited for some great weather and great lacrosse this time of year.
Playing, as you mentioned, the Phoenix of Elon team you defeated earlier this season. It's also the same team you played last year in the CAA tournament in the first round, and you beat them during the regular season. So how much do you use that as a motivation factor that, hey, we beat them during the regular season last year, but they got our number at the end of the day in the tournament, and try to keep that from history repeating itself?
Yeah, I think that in itself for, our returning players is a huge motivator, and it's going to make them even more hungry to make sure that, again, who shows up on game day is really what it comes down to. So, yeah, there's no looking ahead, no question, despite, I'm sure some eagerness to face, the top team in our conference again, if that is what happens, but you just never know. Delaware's a great team. So we certainly are not really considering too much about Sunday because you got to earn it, and everyone knows in a conference, anything can happen. So we've just got to make sure we control what we can control and not focus on what we can't right now.
You're coming off of 2 really gritty games, a win over Johns Hopkins, a 1-goal win over them, and then obviously the loss in overtime to James Madison. How does that help you, though, moving into tournament time when you have to fight for every last second and fight for every ground ball, every goal, every save?
Yeah, it is definitely huge. I mean, it's important that as you progress through the season, you're starting to play your best lacrosse come, later in the season when it really counts. So, there's been some great games around the country in conferences, some upsets, and it just goes to show that I think leading up to having great competition just keeps you on your toes, allows you to keep making yourself better and figuring out, where our weaknesses are and how we need to correct that or become more dynamic. So that was really helpful for us coming off of both Hopkins and JMU to tighten up on a few areas and to see where we can be even better.
Obviously, this team has a lot of really good players. Towson, and Olivia Conti, Carly Telekamp, Natalie Samonte, Gillingham, Montalbano, Thornton, all the way through the ranks. How much do you have to look to them for leadership and for production and not maybe go so much to the bench, or do you use the bench as much as you have been during the season?
You got to be ready to do anything. I think sometimes you can make some interesting decisions that can be a real spark, whether it's somebody coming off the bench for us in Abby Wilkinson last weekend to take some draws, and she did an outstanding job coming up with 3 and getting a few more to her teammates on the wing. So I think, good coaches will keep open minds and be able to read the situations and trust in your leaders to step up when the games are on the line, or to get creative if the situation calls for it. So I think that's kind of the fun in coaching is it's never to script. You've got to be prepared to make some quick decisions and trust in them, just like we ask our players to do the same and trust in their decisions. So it's all fun, it's exciting, and we're looking forward to it.
All right. The Tigers will face off with the Phoenix of Elon Friday, May 4th at 6:30 in Harrisonburg, Virginia for the first round of the CAA tournament. I'll have the call starting at 6:15 on TowsonTigers.com. Coach, thanks for joining us, and we'll see you in Harrisonburg.
Always a pleasure.